Hello, welcome to a very special episode of BACKCHAT. We've got our first non-North American or European guest. This is our first time delving into the Brazilian scene. And I couldn't be more excited because we've got some fantastic guests here from Team Vikings. We've got Sacy and we've got Saadhak. Oh, that was the wrong way around, actually, because everything's mirrored when I'm looking at it. So when I use my right arm, my left arm pops up. But we've got Sacy and we've got Saadhak as well. How are you guys doing?
I'm fine. Hello.
Fine. Champions. Woohoo!
Yeah, second big win of the year. We were talking about it before, but you guys have been boot camping now or living in a house together for since the beginning of the year?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Since the first master, yeah. Like
Gotcha.
the guys are living here, but I live in my own apartment.
Oh,
It's
okay.
close.
Right. And you're just traveling there every day?
Yeah. I use as like gaming office, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Have you found that that was a big improvement for you all?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. Like we have the extra times where we discuss about the game. We don't like just practice and leave.
Yeah.
We are talking about the game like 24 hours. So
Yeah.
that's better.
Yeah. And then the team, when did it come together exactly? Because I know your first matches were at the beginning of this year. Was it just after First Strike then?
I think it was around December, if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
If I'm not
we
wrong.
played
We start.
tournament, right?
Are you asking where did the team start? When did it start?
Yeah.
I think in December we start talking to each other, and we were just throwing names, seeing who was available to just play with us, you know. And on January, I think it was, we just came together and okay, guys, let's start practicing. Let's see what is going on, and we play our first tournament, and everything went really smooth.
That's pretty
We
good.
won.
That's always the best way to start things, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to kind of get some insight from you guys as well. I mean, thank you first of all for taking the time to come on the interview with us as well. It must be crazy for you guys. You've just won Brazilian Masters, or rather Brazilian. What's it called? Challengers Finals.
Challenger finals.
Challenger finals. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're getting ready to fly out to Iceland. What's the process like? How much time do you have? Is everything just chaotic at the moment?
Oh man, we
Oh,
have to do
yeah.
so many things. We have to take the COVID exams, you know, the PCR, I think it is, to fly. We have to get clothes. We have to do a lot of media content. We have to do a lot of interview. We have to practice, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. It's actually pretty
Like
crazy.
today's our day off, so tomorrow we will practice because
Yeah,
we want to get to Iceland fresh.
Of course.
We don't want to stop playing.
Yeah. And of course, you've got like a quarantine once you actually get there as well. I assume that there's some kind of practice system there as well, so that you're not just stuck there not doing anything for multiple days.
Yeah, from what we know, we should be given some PCs on our rooms, and after that, we should go to the practice room, I think, and just go from there.
Hey, that sounds pretty good. All right, decent setup. I want to do a little bit of an intro as well, just for people who might not be aware or following the Brazilian scene too. So we've already mentioned Team Vikings, the winner of the most recent Challengers Finals. You guys also won Masters 1 at the beginning of this year too. And to do a bit of a rundown of your roles, Sacy's an incredible Sova player as well, and just truly ridiculous aim, and something we'll get into later as well, because when we're talking about your background in gaming, you wouldn't expect a ridiculously good aimer to come from
a MOBA player.
Yeah, a MOBA player from League of Legends. It's crazy, it really is. And then we've got Saadhak, who plays the kind of sentinel role and also IGLs for the team as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's me.
Yep. So I wanted to kind of dig a little bit more into your esports history too. And I want to start with Saadhak because I think that we'll end up going down a bit of a rabbit hole with Sacy as well, because it seems a little
story.
a little longer. So Saadhak, how did you get into Valorant? What were you doing beforehand, before you joined Vikings and before you even joined the scene?
So I was a professional Paladins player. I don't know if you know the game.
Yes,
It's kind of like Overwatch, you know.
Yeah.
We were pretty good. We were top 4 in the world. I was an IGL back then for a Brazilian team. I'm not from Brazil. I don't know if you know that. I'm from Argentina.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't speak Portuguese. I speak Spanish. So I had to learn Portuguese to know how to IGL. Then after that, the game kind of died out. Just it wasn't really good. The people wasn't there. They didn't enjoy the game that much. So I knew from I think two years ago, I knew Riot was doing an FPS.
Yeah.
A friend told me he had an insight, so he told me. So my decision was like I need to know how to play FPS. Like I know that is the future. So what did I do? I started playing CS to know how to play FPS.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't good enough to play CS because man, they have so much experience, so much
Yeah,
years,
yeah.
So I started playing the concept, the how to I don't know how to create a map, how to set up in a map, how to be an IGL, how to be a player, how to be a rifler, an operator user, right? So when Valorant first come out, I just gathered a team. We started playing together. We won everything in Latam, and after that I wanted to go to Brazil. So I got in touch with Sacy right here, my man, and we created a team. That's the big story.
There's something really interesting there as well, is that the movement from Argentina over to Brazil in terms of
Yeah.
having to learn different languages, or not languages, multiple, but going from Spanish to Portuguese, it must have been easier the second time around going from playing in LATAM to Brazil when you'd already done it in Paladins, right? Had you already kind of put in that work at the first time?
I mean, for sure, but the headache, man. No, oh Jesus, so many headache. Like just IGLing is really hard, and
Right.
IGLing in another language, it's even harder.
Right. Yeah.
Luckily for me, my girlfriend is Brazilian, so she kind of helped me the first time with the
Okay.
words and stuff. But man, it was really hard.
Do you?
IGL in an FPS is hard also. I
Right.
think MOBA is harder, but FPS is really hard.
Do
MOBA
you?
is harder for sure.
Yeah, okay. Just slipping that one in. Do you feel like if you're a player that's in Argentina, you have to go to Brazil to get to like the next level? Because I know that your team was actually really good when you were playing in LATAM. You were kind of smoking everybody. Was that team not on the same level as the Brazilian teams? It was kind of hard to see because they didn't play each other all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you're really good, but you're really good in LATAM, right? And that doesn't mean a lot. That it's really sad, but it doesn't mean a lot. But if you're really good in Brazil, you're actually really good because the
Right.
competition is higher. Like you have so many teams, you have so many good players, and in LATAM you have only one really good team. Two really good teams. In Brazil you have 5, 4,
Sure.
7. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the skill level then? Do you think of the teams that are still in the LATAM qualifier? Who's in the finals? Crew and Infinity. How
Yeah.
good are those teams?
Like I think Crew, it's actually really good. Like I think they're gonna go really far on Iceland. I actually
Really?
think they're gonna beat Infinity for sure, and they're gonna just qualify and surprise everyone, man.
Okay.
We practice against them a lot. I can say they are actually insane.
I'm really ignorant of Crew. Where are the majority of their players from?
I think there are 3 players from Chile,
Right.
2 from Argentina,
Right.
something
Okay.
like that.
Oh, it's the team with Klaus. I know Klaus because he played
Yeah.
Overwatch as well.
Yes,
It's
yes.
really
I
good.
know all of them. I know all of them.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's a cool team to keep an eye on then.
Yes, for sure.
For Sacy though, you are just collecting trophies in Riot games at this point.
Oh my god. Okay, so the first trophy that I got is from CBLOL, right? It's like the major from Brazil, I mean. But I only played the finals. I was a sub. I was a
Ah.
VRTT sub. So I wasn't experienced. I was like, I had 19 years old, 18. Remember, I have 3 now. So I was like learning from him. But when we got to the finals, my coach just said to me, "Oh, I need you to play the finals." I was like, "What the fuck?" But no, we have a strategy that we will put in a losing lane, bot, and then you need to play. because I think you are better when you are losing. And I was like, okay, sure, yeah.
Is that a normal strategy? That sounds kind of crazy. I don't know anything about MOBAs, but that sounds.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because like VRTT, he has a big impact on the team. You know, VRTT is really big and he's really good. I mean, he is now, but he was really, really, really good at the time. Okay, so I was like, okay, I need to get on VRTT spot. I will like sub him. I'm nervous as hell, but okay, I will go. And then the strategy was like just play one game on the red side. And then I played, we won. I get to the losing lane, but we won the game.
Right.
And then my coach just say, okay, we'll play the next game. I'm like, what the man? Really? I said, really? Yeah, you will play the next game because it was like 2-0. If we lose, it's fine. It's 2-1 when we have another strategy. So I played the 2 games and I won. So that's how I got the trophy.
Nice.
Yeah.
How long were you competing in League then?
5 years, I think. Like
And
since my 17. Yeah.
Gotcha. Before then, were you playing FPS games or?
Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't begin playing League of Legends. I began playing Counter Strike. I was I used to play Counter Strike Stars, not the 1.6. I used to play professional. I play like some championship, but you know, I will be honest, the money was really bad.
Yeah.
We didn't have like structure to play it. So okay, I was like playing every day, non-stop. I had like 13, 12, 13 years old, I think. And when we got to the finals, I won like 50 reais. It's like $10.
Okay. Big
You know?
money day.
Yeah,
Big money.
it was not worth it. Then I saw League of Legends. League of Legends was like turning big on Brazil. Everyone was playing it. So I was watching the final of the first tournament we had here in Brazil, and it was really big. We had a big crowd. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, look at these players playing! Oh my God, they're going to the Worlds." So I said, "Okay, I need to play this." And then I started playing MOBA
Right.
because not that. Don't get me wrong. I really like League of Legends. I love it. Like it changed my life, but it was not the plan.
Right.
You know, my passion is FPS since the beginning. But I didn't manage to. I didn't get the opportunity. I didn't have the time, like just to play for it.
Yeah.
Or I will go to study, or I will just play it, and then maybe it's a big risk. But League of Legends was a risk, but it's like less than Counter Strike.
Sure, because the scene was so much bigger and
Yeah,
there was way
yeah.
more opportunity.
Then I started to play League of Legends with 13 years old. It was like season 3, I think. So I got to the professional scene on the 17 because it's the minimum age, right, to play professional. And then we played the finals in 2017, I think. Yeah, 2017, and we won. And then we went to MSI, but MSI was on Brazil, so we didn't travel. The MSI was on Brazil this time, but I didn't get to play because Riot only get like 6 player, and we had 7, so I got out because we need to get like the mid subs. So I didn't have the chance to play. You know.
That's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, I'm fine. I will get to you guys. I was always with them, playing, getting replays done, helping BRTT and Dude. That was the bot lane at the time. So I was like part of the team. But you know, I wish I was playing. I wish I had the opportunity to play, but I didn't. Like when we lost, we didn't qualify. Oh man, I cried a lot. I really I cried a lot. But not the thing that we lost. It's about like I didn't have a chance to play.
Right.
So I get really frustrated about that.
Yeah.
And then I mean, again, I will be honest, on League of Legends, if we get to Worlds or MSI, what that's happening right now, we always get stomped.
Okay. Sure.
You know, that's a bit frustrated because we are playing like every year, and when you qualify, you know it will be harder. It will be hard. So you won't get far. You know, it's really really hard to get a world championship in Brazil. You know, just Japan right now, they are suffering. But in Valorant, I saw that an opportunity that's different. You know, because it has a global launch. Everyone started to play the game together. You know, I think just NA got earlier. I think the beta.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, but Valorant, everyone plays like at the same time. So everyone will like grow together, no matter the region, you know? That's what I saw in the Valorant. So I started playing since the beginning. Because
Right.
I know that if I get good in this game, I will have a chance to represent Brazil and get far in League of Legends.
Mm.
Yeah. How popular is Valorant in Brazil right now compared to other games like League or Counter Strike?
It's getting higher, but
it's
CS
getting
is
higher.
still there.
Yeah, CS is like Gaules, you know Gaules, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like moves the CS scene here in Brazil right now.
Yeah.
You know, he keeps
The
it alive.
Godfather.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everyone in Brazil, the FPS game is CS
Right.
right now. Mostly like because of him, because of the public, like the passion, you know.
Right.
But Valorant is getting higher now. But League of Legends, it's the real deal here.
Mm.
League of Legends is really popular.
Right.
So-
Even more popular than CS.
In Brazil,
Yes.
here in the country, yes,
Right.
sure.
Do you see Valorant ever getting to a point where it overtakes CS or something like that?
Sure. I mean, the game has 1 year. Just 1 year. Look what
Yeah.
we got. You know? Look what we got. In 1 year, we have like 3 international championship, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
Iceland,
yeah.
Berlin, and champions that they didn't say the location yet, but it's just 1 year, you know?
And it's Riot, and CS has Valve, right? So we know what Valve is capable of. Basically
Yeah.
nothing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who made Paladins? Is that high res?
High res?
Yes.
High-res.
High-res, yeah.
we don't talk about Harris. we don't talk about Harris.
That's one thing that makes me comfortable to come from League of Legends to Valorant, you know? I can go to Valorant knowing that it's Riot, that it's the
Right.
major thing here, you know? I know that the game will get big because of them. So I'm
Right.
comfortable to make this, how can I say that?
The decision, right?
Yeah, the decision to go to Valorant.
Yeah. So I wanna just mention for a moment. So after playing, what was it, like 5-7 years or something of League of Legends?
Yeah.
How are you keeping your aim warm? What are you doing? Just clicking on things to be able to get that really precise aim. You've got some of the best aim in the whole of the region. You're a MOBA player. How did this happen? Surely you get rusty a little bit if you've been playing that much League of Legends instead of
Yeah.
Counter-Strike.
But I mean, when I get to the day off, you know, the vacation time from League of Legends, I used to play FPS games. I got top 500 on Overwatch as well.
Right.
I used to play every FPS game. I used to play CS:GO, but I thought it was trash, so I stopped playing. Sorry, guys. In the beginning, now it's fine, but the beginning of CS:GO was really bad,
Right.
to be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
But I used to play every FPS game, and you know, I didn't. I mean, the aim about the aim that you're saying, it's like it's natural for me. Not to be
Right.
egocentric or something. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's natural.
Yeah.
I think that when I come to Valorant, I was thinking more about the game, more like, okay, I need to understand the agent, I need to understand the map, I need to understand more of the concepts of FPS games because I didn't know that, and that's why I started playing with him, Saadhak. You know,
Hey, that's me.
because I asked him to come to Brazil because I need someone that can teach me the concepts of FPS. You know, and I used to be EGL on the Red Canids that I used to play,
Yeah.
but how can I be EGL if I come from MOBA? Like,
Right.
doesn't make sense. It's really hard for me. I need to learn first, you know. So I said, okay, Saadhak, come here and EGL for me, please.
How did you two know each other?
Do the work.
I mean, okay, I would say that. He sent me a DM on Instagram. Wait,
That
wait.
motherfucker. No. I'm gonna tell the story. I'm actually upset. I sent a DM on Instagram. I think it was back in October. Say, hey man, I want to play with you. I'm going to Brazil next year. This is gonna be really good. I know you're a great player, and so and so. He actually answered to me in December. So he took a couple of months to answer to me, to play with me. He actually took, I think it was like 3-4 months. I don't know. I don't remember. But he was like, "Yeah, man, are you still going to play to Brazil? Do you want a team?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course."
No, wait. My defense, I had a contract with Red Candidate, so
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
poaching things. You know, I was like, okay, I saw his message, but okay, I won't answer him. After my contract expires, I will talk to him. That's it.
Keeping all your options open. I can appreciate that. Let's talk a little bit about how the team Vikings was actually formed then. Because after First Strike, when Gamelanders won, it felt like there was a big shuffle in the Brazilian scene, and not just the Brazilian scene, because multiple Argentinian players started joining the Brazilian scene as well. And it felt like the goal was to make a super team that could beat them. That at least looked like the narrative from the outside. Like Vikings and Furia are trying to put together some really big teams to take down Gamelanders. Is that what the actual motivation was?
Yeah. It
for
was
sure.
100%.
Like, yeah, we knew we have to beat Gamelanders to win in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
We're trying our best just to think about names, as I said before. Just thinking about names. I know, for example, FRC. He used to play with me back in Paladins, right? So I knew he was a really hardworking guy. Was a really good, talented guy also, right? He has an insane aim. He's really flexible. GTN was on the team already, so we didn't have much of a choice, to be honest. But it was a really good decision to have him here. And I think I don't know how to call his name in English, right? But
Satekas.
Satekas.
Yeah.
He was kind of Sacy's protege.
I mean, he
so
used to play Counter-Strike. He played on. He even qualified for Flashpoint. You know, the
right.
tournament. Yeah,
Right.
he used to play that for Redemption. So I needed a guy that was that had experience on FPS, and that could play Smoke. So he played like he used to play Reyna, but I said, okay, you play Smoke. You won't play Reyna, sorry. So you need to learn. Yeah. Then, so he was experienced, so it was fine. It was easy for him to be honest.
What did you guys think your chances were when you made that team? Like, did you immediately think, "Oh, we're gonna win"? Like, did it just click immediately?
It was a big surprise, to be honest.
Yes.
You know, the first tournament that we played was AOC Challenge. It's like not a rare tournament. This was like more to warm up, you know, just to see how we perform championships, and we won. It was the first tournament that we played, and we won against Imperial, the finals.
Yeah.
It was like a good team at the time. So I was like, okay.
I
Good.
remember talking to the guys. Okay, guys, we're gonna take this first tournament just to see how things are going, just to see how we function on pressures. You know, how we succeed and how we fail also. And okay, we won the first match, we won the second match, we won the third match. Okay, guys, we have something here. You know, we actually have something here. Something is going on right here. It's going really good. We're really great. So yeah, we just went from there.
What do you think the key was? Like, what was the? Can you identify any specific things that were much better in this team than were on your previous teams? Not to like shit talk anyone that was on your previous teams. I just mean, what was the magic that made Team Vikings work right from the beginning? What did you guys do very well?
I think it was maturity, in a large part, because FPS players had a big ego, right?
Right.
Yeah. Especially from CS.
Especially from CS. And man, if you fucked up in any way, which is, hey, you fucked up here, we can solve this. And he was, okay, yeah, sure, man. Like he was, any of us was feeling pressure or bad or I don't know, not feeling really great in the moment, and we just talk about it, right? If you see it from outside, we don't have like an MW Serra, right? We don't have this big, talented, amazing, super incredible player that can carry us to victory away. We're a team, right? The five of us can carry us. That's really in part of that because we can talk about everything. We can think about the game together. We all of us have the same mindset, you know.
And everyone has experience as well, you know.
Yeah.
There's not like new players or 17 years old at 18, you know. So it's easier to talk about the game. That's why we got like this rush. You know, we didn't get like a long time to get a synergy. We just get it like in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It was like that's why like it was a big surprise for us.
A lot of teams when they're looking at Brazil, they're extraordinarily entertained. I would say the number one thing that I always get like the impression when I show people Brazilian Valorant is that it's really entertaining. It's high paced, a lot of attacking, it's fast, and it's really really accurate as well. Like the rifling is all very skilled too. How would you guys describe playing Valorant in Brazil? Like you guys actually seem to be a bit of a tier above everybody else right now. You've kind of cruised through a lot of the stuff that's been happening. So maybe you hold yourselves slightly separate, but as a region generally, how would you describe the Brazilian approach to playing Valorant?
I would just love pressing W and just clicking
Yeah.
heads, you know?
Yeah. People here
It's
are
basically
really
the-
skilled, you know. They have insane aim.
Yeah.
They just press W and come rush. That's why the fast pace. But we managed to control that. Like we were practicing to not get into their game, you know. Like game landers are Furia. They have a aggressive style. So we managed to have a low pace, you know, just play with their heads or something like that. Just calm.
play based off utility, you know, like
Yeah.
in other regions. So it's okay. We have, I don't know, we have Viper, we have Astra, we have all these champions, all these, all these champions that can stop the aggression. So we basically managed to do that in a very effective way against Brazil. So yeah, I think
But
that
for
gave
an
us the edge.
example, we tried to do that against game landers on the last time that we faced them, and
It didn't work
MW
good.
just killed 38, I think, on the heaven. So yeah, it was really hard. We lost that. So when the guys like kill 38, there's nothing that you can do, you know.
Right, yeah.
It
Yeah.
was blessed.
Is that with those agents, with Viper and Astra, is that something that you is that the specific reason that you decided to begin running them? Just that they're a good counter for aggression?
Not really. It's because in Brazil, we have a lot of problems just changing what we do, right? So, for example, I don't know, Astra came out. There were lots of teams playing with her, and here in Brazil, I think we were the first.
Yeah, we were the
That
first.
says actually a lot. That says a lot about our region, right? To try her, to understand her, to just learn what she's capable of, right? We are I think we are the only team that takes those risks, you know, to just play with new agents. You saw, I think you actually saw our Ascent, I think it was with Yoru
With
and
Yoru.
Viper
Yes,
and
Yeah,
crazy
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So that was actually our idea. We didn't copy for anyone else. So okay, guys, I think we can play Yoru here. I think we can play Viper here. And after that, lots of teams started playing with that same composition, right, in Brazil. So
Yeah.
they need someone to take those risks, right?
Like
Right.
when we start to play Viper on bind on the scrims, we didn't manage to play on the tournament, but then other team were playing that. Like after we screened them, they were pressing, you know.
Right,
And
yeah.
then they were like,
They
oh my
stole it
god,
from us.
yeah, yeah,
Those
oh my god, they
motherfuckers.
start to play Viper on bind. Look, and then oh hey, I know this comp, you know,
Yeah.
I know this comp. And we start to play Sky here after NA used to play a lot of Sky, the Sky meta, but I think they stopped a little bit.
Yeah.
But we started on Brazil as well.
Right, yeah.
And after that, everyone was playing Sky,
Yeah.
even in rank. It was
Yeah.
kind of crazy, man.
And then we stopped.
And then we stopped.
But the people were still playing Sky, you know.
You could bait everybody into running really bad agents. You just run a really
Yeah.
terrible comp,
Yes.
win with it,
Run
and then everyone else is playing that, and you just
Exactly.
do the real stuff.
Yeah.
The real bait.
I noticed that happening a lot though, because your team is one of the only teams that is playing a lot of Astra right now, and a decent amount of Viper too. A lot of the other teams are still running Omen everywhere. Even you guys as well only run the Omen on Icebox, right? You don't run the Viper on Icebox, which a lot of the other regions have kind of started going towards too. Do you think Brazil in general is quite reluctant to do new stuff until it's been proven in Brazil? Like, it might be proven elsewhere in the world, but until some top team proves it right in front of their eyes, a lot of teams are reluctant to change. Is that accurate?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for someone to do the crazy thing, right? The work
Yeah.
for them. It's basically that they don't want to take a risk. But yeah, I think it's that. I think we have, like, Omen gives a more independent feeling, right? Because Astra is a lot of team play, you know, a lot of more of coordination, more playing with your stars and the things to help
Yeah.
the team, right? And Omen is like, okay, I can TP here, I can ultimate here, I can just smoke whatever I want. It's a different playstyle, and I think Brazil, they really like just playing that way, just more independently.
Yeah,
Not
and people
so
here
much
play a
for the
lot
team.
of. They do like the duo Jet race, and they don't have flashbang, so they use like Omen to do the function on executing a bomb site, for example.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You guys actually don't play very much Jet at all. You mostly play the Phoenix Rays if you're going to play double duelists. There's a lot of other teams in your region that play quite a lot of Jet. And actually, generally speaking, across the world, especially for the previous Masters 1, there was a lot of Jet being played there. What's the reasoning behind that? Why have you guys gone away from the Jet while other people are starting to rediscover it?
We can't give that
Yeah.
information,
Okay.
so much information. But we can. What I can say to you is, Jet has her limitations. She isn't that perfect. She isn't like the way the game is meant to play.
Yeah.
Because if you actually pay attention to what the meta is right now, you would understand why we don't play Jet.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Cryptic.
But
I
that's
love
all I
it.
can say.
Okay. All right. People, little detectives are going to be reading through, combing through everything there, trying to pull that out. All right. What about the Yoru? That is something that I've only ever seen Yoru on both sides in Brazil. I've never seen that anywhere
The
else.
only other team who's run it is Guild in Europe.
Draken
I think.
played some Yoru on Haven, but this was on Ascent as well. We've actually seen some of the North American teams play Yoru on Bind to get value out of the teleporters. I've never seen anyone play it on Ascent, and I've never seen two teams both play it on Ascent. So that was very interesting.
That was a failed experiment, if I can say
Yeah.
Okay.
so. That was
Like we
it's an
won the
experiment.
game, but it was like,
This
I
is
think
kinda
if they
trash.
were smarter, we would have lose this game.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was like it. That's why we stopped playing it, because it was really predictable.
Right.
The competition is really predictable. You knew that what we would have done in this round. So, but people in Brazil, I think that they wouldn't punish us. I think it's hard to bring this
Right.
composition to an international tournament.
Yeah.
It's really
Is
hard.
the idea with Ascent just that you can spawn, you can basically throw things down the spawn and you can be at A and B at the same time, whereas you can't really do that on
Yeah.
other maps?
Yeah, we would get like 2 orbs round for Yoru, and like in the second or third round he had Zoot already. That was the plan, the beginning. But I was like, okay, this is trash. Stop it. After that, we stop.
Right. But your team seems like they're more willing to do experiments with your composition. Is that because you feel confident in your players being good at them, or the team is still going to be able to win even if it's a failed experiment? Or what is the reason that you have more confidence than other teams in Brazil to make these changes and to try new stuff?
We always try to put a mentality that doesn't matter what agent you're using, like your aim still the same. If you're not like killing because of the agent, you shouldn't be playing professional.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay.
We try to put this on the mentality of the team. So it doesn't matter if you change your function in the game, you should be able to be flex. Don't be like,
Right.
oh, I'm not killing because I just changed my agent, just changed my function like that. So that's why it makes us feel comfortable to do this experiment, even if it's a bad one like your.
And we actually learned a lot from that,
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
experimenting, we actually learned a lot of things.
We learn how to play against.
Yeah, we know how to play against. We know what's the weak side. What the meta? People, what's the good of the meta? Why this that we're trying is not working? And we actually get a lot of good answers from that. So yeah.
Yeah. What do you make of the meta right now in Brazil? And if you, I don't know if you guys look at other regions or take any ideas from other teams from other regions, but how would you compare the meta right now in Brazil to, say, North America or Europe?
I think you actually define it really, really well. It's fast paced,
Yeah.
like it's just go, try to kill, and just pray to God my aim is good. But if you actually pay attention, we like Vikings and Sharks plays the basically the same playstyle, slow pace, just information, gather information, stop rushes, and we got to the finals together. So that says a lot, right, about the meta here in Brazil.
Yeah.
And we for sure take a lot of ideas from other regions. We don't have that ego, to say, okay, we're the best region, we're gonna do it our way. No, we say, okay, these guys, they think about the game also. They have a lot more of competitivity right in the region, so they actually know something we don't know, right? So we try to gather some information from them, from compositions, the way they play and stuff.
Like some metas are like, for example, in EU. If we use EU meta here in Brazil, it won't work. To be honest, it's really hard. Because if you expect people play like slow, you're screwed.
Right.
People are just rush, you need to be prepared that people are doing crazy things. We just like we see the meta in other regions, try to adapt here in Brazil. That's the thing.
Yeah. Do you it's interesting to me when I look at just the statistics as well, that every single map is attackers sided in Brazil apart from Ascent. And so it seems like this fast-paced aggression, and a lot of teams playing double duelist, a lot of teams playing the Jett and the Rays, which can kind of break angles and get deep into sites and stop you from just holding the choke points. It seems like it's being effective. Has it been a challenge for you guys to create a style that stops that and actually gives you value on the defense?
That's a really hard question, but yes, I think we came out with our own playstyle. Like we have the Vikings playstyle, we don't have the Brazilian playstyle, and that's a lot to say. We as we said before, we went through a lot of experiments, we went through a lot of situations. Like how is the game meant to play? Is it meant to play like fast paced? Is it meant to play slow paced? Maybe a combination of the two of them. So in that base, we kind of, okay, guys, we're gonna do this and that, and we're gonna see how it works. We just kept on going from that.
What are some of the things that you think about as an IGL when you're doing this kind of stuff? Like, what are some of the? It feels like when you're an IGL and you're communicating in a foreign language as well to you, because you're talking in Portuguese, and then everything's happening so quickly. Other IGLs, like in Europe, for example, might have some time to like, okay, guys, right, we're going to take this area and we're going to very slowly explore the rest of the map. For you, it must be pretty fast-paced all the time. What are some of the main focuses that you try and nail down, or when Vikings was first started, maybe tried to nail down?
So I'm basically watching the radar 90% of the time, right? Because if I know where, I don't know, the Jett and the race are, I basically know where the rest of the team are, where the rest of the team is in the map. So basically, having that in my head helps me a lot to take these important decisions for the team. For example, I don't know, Jett and Race are in showers, in bind. Okay, so I know there's only one guy watching long. So it's not gonna be a long rush. It's not gonna be a B rush. It's gonna be an A rush. So okay, guys, it's gonna be an A rush. Get ready, be prepared. And they also know they also know this, right? My teammates. So I don't have to be telling everything. This is going to be the rush. This is going to be the aggressive part. They know, because I'm not the only one just talking. It's a team effort. It's not only me. It's them too. Like, okay, guys, we know we're playing against a really aggressive team. They're gonna do this. So if you see the Jett and the Race, be prepared. It's gonna be a rush. Something like this. I think that.
I wanted to talk a little bit about some another trend that I've noticed before we get on to talking about the tournament, which is that your team Vikings don't really do this, but a lot of the other teams in the region do, which is that even if they're a really good team, they'll have some maps where they lose 13-3, 13-5, something like that, and they just completely collapse. I don't think it's happened to you guys since February or something that you lost a map that badly. Because you
lost Sharks.
It was Sharks on Haven.
Yeah.
But Sharks is an incredible team on Haven, right? They're like 16-1 or something.
Not so much.
But
and you beat them recently.
But this first map, I have a map. we were trying the composition of Jet Bridge, you know,
Right.
like Vision Striker style. It didn't work out, so I said,
Yeah.
okay, we'll stop. We don't play this again.
Okay.
Forget it. We
Right,
were
yeah.
It
trying.
was a little experiment.
Yeah.
Do you agree though that that seems to happen more than in other regions, or is that just because of skill differences on different maps? I'm trying to figure out when I look at the Brazilian results and I see one team wins 2-1, but the map they won, they destroyed the other team like 13-4. That seems to happen quite a lot. Is it because teams have certain maps that are way better than others, or are they slow to adapt in the games? What do you think happens with the other teams?
I think it comes down to preparation, you know? Like we try to prepare to every single map, so this doesn't happen. We try to come up with a plan every single map, so we don't take by surprise. We try to put our game into them. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, this heaven we're gonna play aggressive. This Ascent we're gonna play passive. This I don't know, something like that. So we don't get the surprise, and we don't get stumped, right? So I think that happens a lot in Brazil. They don't just think, they just act, right? They don't prepare for each situation. They just let it go, let it be, basically.
Yeah.
I think that's the answer.
And I think your team has one of the best map pools in the whole region as well. I don't think you, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you have a permaban. Like a lot of the other teams, they'll just permaban as a split or a haven or something like that. It seems like you are pretty open to playing any map, and you kind of ban based on what your opponent is the best at or how you think you match up against them.
We
I
used
mean,
to have it.
that's a
Yeah.
process, right? Because
Right.
our permaban was split back in the day. Everyone knew that a split was our permaban, but we just okay, guys. We need to stop. We need to start practicing split because this is going to be a weak point for us. So we start practicing. Okay, guys, we're actually playing it really good. Let's just play it on the tournament. And it went from there, but which is needed a lot of time, right? Because the maps evolve, the compositions change, so we have to be constantly adapting, right? And 5 maps are a lot of maps, a lot of composition, a lot of things.
It seemed like nobody wanted to play Split in the most recent tournament as well. In the Challengers Finals, there was only one match of Split, and it wasn't between any of the top 4 teams. I think it was like in-gaming against somebody else. I can't even remember who it was.
We hate it. We hate split.
Brazilians hate splits, as
Right.
honest. Yeah,
Why?
we really hate.
I don't know. It's an ugly map, dude. What can I say? it's really fucked up, that map. I don't know. The design, it's just boring to play. I don't know. It's hard. It's also really hard. In NA, I think, or in Europe, they don't play it too much, I think.
North
Right?
America,
It's not
they haven't
the-
played very much of it.
No, yeah, in North America as well. Yeah, teams really stopped playing it this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It's a really hard map to
It's
play.
a
I think
really
it's the
risky
hardest.
map. It's really
A really-
risky to play
yeah.
it, you know? Because if you don't get like, when you feel that your comp is not beating another one, you're like, okay, we are screwed. We won't pass like that. The tech side is really hard.
Yeah.
Split. Really hard.
Yeah. It's really city side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a little bit then about the tournament that we just saw, the Challengers Finals. First of all, did you guys expect Sharks to be the second team to make it through to represent Brazil at Iceland? I was kind of hoping, honestly, that Gamelanders would be the team to make it through, because I like the narrative of like, okay, they were the first strike champions, they were so good throughout 2020. It's almost like Vision Strikers or somebody making it to Iceland. They were the top Brazilian team for so long that it would be cool to see them represented. But it seems like they've just been passed. And at this point, Vikings and Sharks and Fury are actually seem like a level above them as well. Were you expecting that to be the case coming out into this tournament? Because Gamelanders were still in the finals of Masters 1 with you.
I was sure.
Too. Yeah.
Like, it's just because we are players, right? We know that their playstyle were similar to us.
Yeah.
We know that they actually think a lot about the game. They don't just play it. So I knew that they had a great chance to make it to Iceland. But I also knew that Gamelanders can just stomp everyone, right? And forget about tactics. They just can stomp. Same as with Fury. Fury has great talent, but they're just kind of inexperienced, you know. That play a lot of against them. Like to
Yeah,
play
I don't know
really
if
bad
you
against
guys
them.
watch it, the Fury against Sharks match. That was 8-0 on Icebox. They lost. It was like to go to Iceland. That was really sad.
Yeah, that one was extremely. But that was another series where the first two maps were kind of wildly different from each other. 13-5 to Furia, and then Ascent was 13-3 to Sharks.
Yes.
That's opposite to each other. And then it comes down to this close icebox game where Furia had a massive advantage and they ended up losing. It's crazy watching those kind of series happen when it feels like there are wild swings in momentum from one side to the other.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's part of what we said earlier, right? It's about the preparation. It's about knowing what the other team is going to be doing on the map, knowing what your team can do on the map. And I think those two teams are kind of inexperienced. If you look at the ages, if you know at what the members did in the past, like did they went to international lands? Did they play in a stage? Did they qualify for big things? All the things wanted. I mean, all the things has its own weight.
Mm.
When you're playing in the playoff, in finals, in semifinals.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you guys feel that the teams who weren't playing Astra or Viper were at a disadvantage in this most recent tournament?
For sure.
For
Yeah,
sure,
I think so. Yeah, because it's what we say earlier, right? It's just about experimenting, knowing the limits of what your agent can do. And Astra, man, is sometimes she's really broken, right? She's really obnoxious to play
She's
against.
really, really broken. I don't know what Wright is doing for sure.
Yeah.
It's
Same
really
with
broken.
Viper, man. I don't know what they're smoking down there, but Viper is just you go through a wall and gets, man, it's really easy to kiss people.
I mean, they're
It's
just
amazing.
their abilities are perfect for shutting down rushes and aggression.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
One gravity well, one smoke they have to run
Yes.
through and take damage.
And think that in Brazil.
Right.
Like, think
right.
that situation against a Brazilian meta that is just rush. Right?
I mean,
You just put an Astra shot and it's over. What are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the that's, I think, a big reason as to why Game Landers lost to Haven on Haven.
Yeah, Haven
rather.
Liberty.
Yeah, they lost on Haven to Haven.
Yeah.
Like just rushing C long, their whole push would just end because of one Astra gravity. They'd just be stuck in the choke. Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah, it does seem a little broken right now, doesn't it? Astra and Viper.
Yeah. Do you like this current meta? Do you feel, because I think it can be easy to like metas where your team is good, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you think it's good for the game or you enjoy playing it. What are your thoughts on the state of the game right now?
I think it's pretty bad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually really bad.
Like you were playing on FPS or RTS, when you're playing stars along the map. It doesn't make sense.
And you're the one complaining about it, and you're from a MOBA, so that's how you know it.
He's complaining about abilities, right?
Maybe you're to get away from that. What?
Yeah.
I think it's actually really bad, but it's healthy for the game also.
Yeah.
Have these changes in the meta, right? Not to be stale like Overwatch and the composition that lasted for 2 years.
Yeah.
It's really, really healthy. But they should change it.
What meta do you think has been the best one so far? Or what has been the most enjoyable time to play?
That's a really good question. I think I hated the breach meta, when everyone was using breach on the beginning.
Yeah.
But I love the Omen Race Jett meta with Cypher.
Yeah, it's really.
I think that was the best meta we had because it was balanced. You can play aggressive, you can play passive, but it was kind of overpowered for those who had a really good aim. Right? They can just rush and they didn't have any stop in them. Like they didn't have a Viper or an I don't know or an Astra
Unless
to
you're
stop
playing
them.
against MW, you have Astra, have Viper, and the guys kills
Just
38.
flying and killing you
Yeah.
from the air.
Yeah.
I will never forget this match, honestly. Wyatt.
Yeah, I mean, he still dropped 320 ACS, which was the highest in the world out of all of the regions that were qualifying for Iceland. He dropped 320, and like the next highest was Sacy on 240. So it's like a massive gap when it comes to the. I mean, the guy's just a a freak. Do you feel like they've been
Yeah.
kind of carried by just that good aiming stuff and it's hidden their other problems? Do they have some serious work to do like you guys did?
I mean, carry is a big word, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
it is.
Carry is a big word, but he has a big influence on the team. That's for sure. You can't
Right.
It
deny
has
that.
a
Yeah,
big
of
impact.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
I
mean,
think it's more of a team effort. I don't know if he would be able to frag that much if he didn't have the support he gets on the team.
yeah.
Like imagine just I don't know, just saying, okay, you can go in. I have this and that for you. You good? Just go kill them all, right? It gets I don't know, gets easier, but it's a bad word to say. It gets easier to kill them if you have a team that's supporting you. So I don't think it's all him, like all the people
Yeah.
say, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question about Sharks and Vikings and their differences, because a lot of what you've been saying is that you have quite similar styles. But what are some of the key differences that makes Vikings the best, undisputed at the moment, won both of the most recent tournaments, and Sharks are like still part of the pack? They're still really trying to like push ahead of everybody else, and they've done it this time, but they don't feel like they're quite on your level yet. You still dealt with them relatively easily, I would say, when it came to the final, despite the fact that you dropped a map, the only map I think that you lost in the whole of the Challengers finals.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are some of the major differences between the two teams?
It's a really hard question, man. Because we have to give some of our knowledge.
Okay.
But I think it's because we are playing this way longer time, you know. So we
Right.
have more experience playing this way, this
Yeah.
slow pace and stuff. And they started to figure it out a couple months ago. And we from I think from the beginning we started thinking about it and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Right,
Like
they have a long way still, but they're going for the right path, right?
the composition they are using right now, we were using like 1 month ago. So like, kind of know how to counter it. You know,
Right,
we kind of
right,
know how
sure.
to read it on the game, so
Yeah.
it's easier for us.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we can't give so much information, right?
No,
Sorry for you
that's
guys.
that's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
sorry, guys.
hey, you're
No,
heading
it's
to the largest major tournament of all time. You could not tell us a single thing about strategy, and I would understand it completely, because you don't want to give a slight competitive edge to anybody else.
More important
Yeah.
that you win than just tell us about the strategy beforehand. Probably more important.
I wanted to ask about the rivalry with North America. I feel like this is it's something where, okay, North America, they have a main rivalry with Europe. It's across the Atlantic, they're like back and forth all the time. But in Counter-Strike, a lot of the North American teams have played against Brazilian teams and have battled them, whether that be at a high level previously when Brazil was dominating CSGO, or whether it was at a kind of tier 2 or low tier 1 level recently as well. A lot of the North American teams feel like they know how to play against Brazilian teams. Yeah, we know how to play against the aggression. What do you think is different this time around? If you're going up against North America at Iceland, and it's in Valorant rather than CSGO, and it's your style that you've worked on rather than just a traditional aggressive Brazilian style, what do you guys think is going to be the key to beating the North American teams?
I think they're underestimating us. You know, they think we're
Yeah.
going to just rush and be dumb, and they're going to just put us Astra star and okay, we won the game. We're not like that, you know, man. We're just gonna do our best, and I think we're gonna impress some NA folks, you know.
Are there either of the NA teams that are going version 1 Sentinels? Do you I don't know, what do you make of the level of those teams right now?
Okay, let me be clear. We have lots of tens in Brazil.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
right? So tens, it doesn't ring a bell for me. I just want to be really simple with what I'm saying. It's not about ego. It's about we have a lot of big talent here in Brazil,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we know how tens plays, right?
Yeah.
And we have, if you see, we have MEW Sarah, for example. That's obvious, right? So it's more about knowing how we're going to play against the players, right? It's not.
Mm.
We don't have. We are not afraid of the players. It's more about the teams. We're worried about how
Yeah.
the teams works. It's just don't give a damn about the players. You can
Mm.
bring everyone you want.
I just want to know if I can note him with Sova, you know, because here in Brazil, I don't know. I don't know if people like don't know how to dodge it, or if I'm good at it. I'm just excited to to see that on international stage, you know.
What do you feel
It's
like you get a lot
about-
of easy kills with Sova in Brazil?
Yeah, and to be honest, when I see Sova on the other regions, they don't know how to ult properly, you know.
Mm,
Mhm.
I mean, here in Brazil, when I like, okay, guys, I have ult, I will kill one.
mm.
You
Yeah.
know, I feel like this, but I don't know if it's the players that I'm playing against, or if it's just me. So I'm
Right,
excited
right.
to know that you know if I can do that on international stage. I say okay, it's me then. I'm a good solo player, but I but I realized that on
Yeah.
Iceland.
Have you looked at a lot of the North American teams and how they play? Do you have any teams that you are excited to match up against, or you feel like you're gonna have to adapt their style and you really respect how they play? What are some of your thoughts about the level and like your excitement about individual teams that you're going to be facing at Iceland?
I mean, we're going to have respect for them for sure.
Yeah.
I really wanted to play against Vision Strikers. It was a really sad news that they lost.
Yeah.
But I mean, I want to play against the Korea team. The Korean,
Yeah.
I think it's Newton, right?
Yeah, Newton. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to play against them for sure because I know me as an IGL, I'm gonna learn a lot of things from them,
Mm.
right? And they and you are kind of like we know how they play already. But Newtons and Vision Striker, they have like a different play. They have a different
Yeah.
view of the game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's for me at least.
What do you think, Sassy?
Oh my god. Oh, to be honest, I would just want to play against Sentinels.
Okay.
Really, I just want to play against them. Like, I'm a little bit of fan of them.
Okay.
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 Yeah, I like everyone from there, but I want to play
absolutely.
against them. And then of
Like-
course, like Sentinels and Liquid, I want to play against Screen. You know, I used to watch Screen play on very games on Counter-Strike Source.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
going to
yeah,
play
yeah.
a tournament against him. Like, what the fuck? What's going on in my life? I'm going to play against him really on a FPS game. So that's insane for me. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
little bit fan.
Yeah. It's also good to play against the people you learn so much, right? Because
Yeah.
we actually saw Sentinels doing certain stuff and we copy them, right? So it's gonna be really good playing against them and saying, okay, it's the moment, guys. Are we better than them? Are we just a copycat? Are we bad at the game? I don't know. Just gonna see.
Yeah.
What are your expectations coming into Iceland? What is your I imagine your goal is to win it all. Where do you think Brazil currently stacks up? How difficult do you think it's going to be your journey through Iceland?
That's an interesting question. I think we're gonna be.
I think we're
gonna
surprise everyone.
We're gonna
Okay.
surprise. Yeah.
I think we're gonna surprise.
I think we can make it into the top 4, if I say so. I
Okay.
think we have a really good chance. I don't know
Yeah.
about winning because we have our limitations. Want it or not, like we don't have a liquid. We don't have a fanatic to practice against, right? We don't have the numbers, the competition in our region. We don't have the practice quality. We don't have the money, right? We don't have the support, right? So we know we're playing against a team that has better support. Believe it or not, they have a better gaming house. They have better PCs. They have a better like environment, right? So they can play and develop. And we're coming from an underdeveloped country, playing esports, talking right, to play against these monsters. But we actually think we have a really good opportunity to go against them.
Okay. Would you say that it's more that Brazil is underrated then by other regions, by other analysts, etc.?
Why?
No. I'm saying, is that your opinion? That because you were saying you think you'll really surprise people. Do you think that most people are not expecting very much of Brazil?
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure,
yeah.
for sure. I think they see our games and they think, oh, we're just gonna do this and they're screwed. But it's not like
Yeah.
that, right?
Oh look, this guy just pressed W and kill. Oh, we're fine.
No, we're
Okay.
fine. We just put a star. It's not working. Like it's not gonna work
Yeah.
for sure. And I think they're going to, in practice, right? Not in the big stage. In practice, they're gonna be okay. These guys actually know something about the game. We just can't take this lightly, right? We're going to have we have to pay attention to them in a way. So yeah.
Okay, pretty good. And I guess as a final question as well, are people going to be massively underrating LATAM too? You said earlier that you
Yes.
think crew
Yeah.
is good.
Oh my god.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah?
For
Even
sure.
it's gonna be even worse than in Brazil.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Really?
I
And
can
these
say so.
guys are really good.
Right.
These
Trust
guys
me,
are really
these
good.
guys
Yeah.
are
What-
really good.
Can I ask,
Those-
like, if you imagine them playing in Brazil, where do you think they would have come in the most recent tournament?
They would have classified for
They
sure.
would classify. Yeah.
They would have
They
been
would.
like second place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
so.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't
Didn't expect
did
that.
not know. Did not
Yeah.
know. That's
Okay.
pretty cool.
That is
You can
that is
expect
awesome.
great team from them.
Okay. I mean, I'm excited for the entire thing as well. Iceland is going to be a phenomenal experience. I mean, I hope you guys have so much fun as well going out there, meeting people from all
Yeah,
around
for
the,
sure.
Yeah, for
world
sure.
too.
Yay!
Having some local food.
Live in
Yeah.
Brazil.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't know what local food in Iceland really is. Do you know any
I don't have a clue.
Icelandish food?
No.
No,
Iceland.
I really
I don't know what you do.
I mean,
Iceland. I don't
we are
know.
Vikings, right? We can have some local food
Sure.
in
Yeah.
Iceland.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's going to be a blast. I bet you're absolutely thrilled to be representing your region as well. I would say your country, but it's not exactly the country for Saadhak, so it's the entire region. You're representing the whole of South America, along with your LATAM brethren as well. Thank you enormously for coming on the podcast as well. It was such
Thank
a
you guys
pleasure
for
to talk
having
to you.
us.
Yeah, thank you.
And
an
good
honor.
luck with all of your journey and your trip out there and all sorts of stuff like that. I'm sure it's a very stressful time for you as well, but I wish you the
Yes.
absolute best of luck performing on the stage.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Yeah.
For the
It's an
chat
honor.
and stuff.
And if you're interested in another episode of PlatChat, we will have another one coming at you on Wednesday when we're actually going to be going through a bunch of the Brazilian results. And I think we're going to be recapping a bit of Korea and stuff as
Yeah.
well. I think it just comes down to whatever we've gotten around to watching this week is going to be the...
Yeah, a lot of games.
There are a lot
mean,
of
let-
games.
There's a lot of games to watch.
Yeah.
Latin plays on the 12th, right? The final.
Is it the 12th? That is so late.
Yeah.
How were they
So
ever
late,
supposed to
yeah.
learn Breeze? That was just never going to happen.
Yeah. I'm,
No,
Yeah.
Breeze is not going to be played.
No, I know,
yeah,
I know.
I'm sure you guys are
Oh, yeah.
glad it's
Oh,
not
yeah,
going
yeah,
to be.
I understand.
Thank God it won't be.
Thank God.
available,
Yeah, 'cause-
really.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, very strange because you guys would have been
Because-
I mean,
You
it's
would have
just
had
a
a whole
straight up
week less.
disadvantage for you
Yes.
and LATAM. Yeah.
I mean,
Glad they
we're
changed
still in
that.
disadvantage, right? Because we're not going there like right now. We just have to wait like another week. It's really
Mhm.
bad, but yeah, it is
Sure.
what it is.
Yeah, I mean it's a wild situation because of the pandemic, right? I think it's
Yeah.
just it's cool that we even get it in the first place, and
Yes.
yeah, and hopefully you're able to turn up to Berlin and there's more of a normality returning at that point. Who knows? But like I said, an absolute pleasure, and we've got another episode coming out on Wednesday, so we'll see you all then. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.